All
from
right,
the
we have a
chat.
few more updates from our previous reports surrounding Diddy's sexual assault lawsuit. In addition to Cassie's lawsuit, Diddy has been hit with 2 more sexual assault lawsuits. The second woman alleges that he drugged and assaulted her in 1991 while they were dining at a restaurant. And the third woman claimed that Diddy and R&B singer Aaron Hall assaulted her and her friend in the early 90s. What are your thoughts on this update? And do you think more allegations will start to unfold? Let's go to you first, Al. What do you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm pretty positive more will unfold for sure, whether we hear about them or not. I mean, it's clear that whether it's a money play or not at this point, Diddy, there's something in the milk ain't clean. No, let me rephrase that. Something in this milk is filthy. And this is what I do want to say, because all of this is alleged, right? If Diddy is guilty of these heinous crimes, I think the only appropriate way for it to be dealt with is you pay the time for the crime. Like, if it is a money play and everybody's making this up, then you have to deal with that as well, because you made this decision to handle the Cassie situation the way you did. And I would think that would empower a lot of other people to come forward, whether it's true or not, to get to expose you as well. So that's why I say there are definitely more to come, whether we hear about them or not. But I do say this: if he did all that these young ladies are saying, that he raped both of them, and another young lady saying that he raped them, I think if he has done the crime, then he needs to pay the time.
Q, what do you think?
It's a wrap for Diddy. You know, me and a friend were having a conversation this weekend talking about it. It just literally is a wrap for him. I don't know what A-list celebrity, producer, or executive would be caught in a picture with Diddy at this point. He is considered, as far as we're concerned, a bona fide rapist. You know what I'm saying? Which is unfortunate. And it looks as if, you know, the empire that he built is starting to, it ain't starting to slowly crumble. It's damn crumbling. And like Al said, there probably would be, you know, more women coming forth. And I'm disappointed. Diddy, you really kind of let us down. You were my childhood. You know, More Money, More Problems came out when I was in the 7th grade. You know, we looked up to you as much as you've done for hip hop and as many artists as you develop. And then to find out now that one of your childhood, you know, idols, for lack of a better term, turns out to be this person, it's disappointing and it's heartbreaking.
You know, there's a lot of people that the first thing they criticize is, why wait till now? It was 1991. I'm sorry. If we can still be mad at the little heifer that got Emmett Till murdered, we can still be mad at this. And it hits different when it's you or your family member. I get it. It's annoying to us, but to a victim, it doesn't go away. And I'm going to say this about Diddy. We all know there's been whispers in the industry for a very, very, very long time. And they have been around since the 90s. The problem is he was at the peak of his power in the 90s and the 2000s. And I think that it was so hard to get any traction. And if you really go after and look at, you know, the complaint with Cassie, you get a little deeper understanding about how he had this entire network that was loyal to him. So it's like, this is someone that has some access, some power, you know, she's a celebrity. Imagine the average person that had an issue that, you know, feels a little bit helpless, like their hands are tied. And this is the first time, it's like the perfect storm, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone is starting to like collaborate with each other's stories. Mm-hmm. And it's really got a lot of steam. Like people, you heard Jaguar Wright before do a report. Mm-hmm. People deemed her crazy. Kim Porter tried to write a book. You know, Kamora Lee Simmons dropped some hints here. There's been a lot of people have dropped things here and there, but never everyone at the same time where they're supporting each other's claims. So I think for that reason, I think you're right, both of you. I definitely think it's a wrap for him. And it's not going to be long before more brands don't want to do business with him. And could you imagine, like, who wants to work for Diddy now, you know? Mm. All right, moving on. While we're on the subject of sexual assault lawsuits, we have a few more cases to add to the equation. As of now, Jamie Foxx and the co-founder of Interscope Records, Jimmy Iovine, former ESPN host and NFL player Marcellus Wiley, Cuba Gooding Jr., former president of Bad Boy Entertainment Harvey Pierre, and New York Mayor Eric Adams are all facing sexual assault lawsuits. It's been quite, I would say the week, but the month, the 2023 was giving. If you got a hot topic show, you was busy this year.
Oh, that's
okay,
right.
Let's go back to what are your thoughts on all these cases coming out?
Let me
People,
tell you something.
coming from
All these cases, on one token, you want to be like, now, wait a minute, all these damn cases can't be true. Claudia, at this point, I am so scared to be in an elevator alone with a woman. I don't even like Tootsie Cat. Okay. But I do not want to be alone in any space with any damn woman. No, this is sad. Again, the Me Too movement taught me that I'm not supposed to second guess a woman when she says she's been assaulted, because that re-traumatizes her. So I'm just gonna rock with it. But I mean, shit, child, it seemed like everybody is on the damn list this month.
Al, what do you think?
Well, we just know that there's some big names on the list, Q. We learned from the press that 2,500 lawsuits of this type were filed under this new Adult Survivors Act. So we just happen to have 10 people that we say their name and it resonates with the community. And I think I may have mentioned on this show before that someone wrote in the Washington Post that this is the beginning of the hip hop Me Too movement. And that's what it's starting to look like. And that's what it's starting to sound like. And Q, you're right. We have to stand with the victims until we know otherwise. So in this case, unfortunately, there are actors on their list. There's politicians on that list that I have seen their careers grow and flourish. If they are at any point a molester or a violator of someone's human rights by raping them or sexually abusing them, then they need to be sent through the criminal justice system and they need to be punished. That I will always support. And the reason why people take a long time, Q, you asked that question, is because obviously the reason why the Adult Survivors Act was created was because psychologists say that people take a very long time to process abuse and rape, sexual assault or abuse and rape. And it could be 10 years, it could be 20 years before they can come to terms. And I really think Cassie, for a lot of women, have empowered them to say, hey, if she can have the power, the confidence and the courage to go up against someone like P. Diddy, a billionaire, a hip hop icon, then I can now come forward for all the wrongdoing that was done towards me.
Again, I've spoken about going through this a couple of times. I've had a couple of sexual assault instances. And one time, one of my friends took it all the way. And I remember being happy for her that she did it, but sad for myself. Like, why couldn't I do it for myself? And like, I'm mad at myself to this day. Like, why didn't I do it? Why didn't I do it? And then feeling guilty because so much time's gone by. It's like pointless. I feel like it's pointless now. I just deal with the trauma in my own way. But, I can speak to the mentality of the victims, I wish I had the courage that some of these women have. And yeah, we can say there's always going to be a few bad apples in the bunch that are going to look up for a come up. But let me tell you something. This is such a hard thing to relive and to prove. If you're lying, it's going to be obvious. Like, it's very hard to pull this off. And to subject yourself to that. My friend who took her abuser all the way, she had to provide evidence, embarrassing things, sexual history, her underwear on display. It's a very humiliating thing to go through if you don't truly believe in it. And I hope they weed out the false ones, but I feel like this whole it's a money grab thing for a couple, but I think the majority of them have legitimate cases because, and real quick, our society, our world has been such savages towards women for so long. And it's only been as of late that things have been cleaning up. But it used to be, you'd watch television in the 70s and 80s and people would make jokes about having to give their wife get them together, give them a black eye or smack them and it was like, no one even batted an eye. We've evolved from that. So now this is the reckoning now, I think. So, all right.